Okay, today is about solving equations when they're factored. What I would do if I were you is take this part and set it equal to 0, and this part and say equal to 0. And then it's just two little mini equations. This equation, what makes it work? I saw one kid say 3 and negative 3 would equal 0, and that would be true if it was add, but that doesn't work for times. X equals 0 is correct. How about over here?
X equals 4.
Yeah, you add 4 to both sides. You got x equals 4. 4 and 0. There were a few people that had that right in the first try. Good job. All right. Now, I had this one already factored. What if they do this? That is a typical question for today. So, all you got to do is factor. How do you factor that thing on the left? We just did that yesterday, right? 3xx, and that's the 3 times 2x equals 0. And then now we got to do the factoring thing. What's that greatest common factor? The 3. And the x. Very good. So 3x is the common factor. You bring it out front.
Plus 2 plus something.
After these guys disappear,
Plus x squared.
see what's left after I scribbled out the things that were in common? X
1.
plus, it doesn't look like a 1. Come on, look at it.
I don't know.
It's right there.
Oh,
2. All right. And then I got to use that thing I just showed you. Notice, this class, this is like a 4-step problem. That makes it harder than usual. But I've seen you guys able to handle it before. So first step was to break it up. Second step was to factor it. Third step is to make this into a little equation. X plus 2 equals 496. Is that what it means? No. X plus 2 equals what? 0. And then this one, 3x equals 0. You see how it's just like the one we just did a second ago? Very last step is to solve these equations. And this one I can solve in my head, but I'll show you the work just in case. Divide by 3, x equals 0. Minus 2, x equals negative 2. All right. That phone goes up on my desk. You can have it back at the end. I have it back at the end of the hour. Next time, ask me first. All right. 5x squared minus 25 equals 0. Again, it can be factored. Write this one down. Yep. Don't go there. Just write it down. Now, we're only doing practice problems for a few minutes. Now I like to write it in expanded form. You don't have to do that, but if just for right now, you have to show me some work. Yes, it is true. That seems like it's cruel, but you need to show some work. You don't have to show your work my way, but you can show your work. And then, what is in common in these two? 5s. Excellent. What else is in common? 5 times 5 is 25. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. 5xx is 5x squared. I did it right. There doesn't need to be a 1 this time. All right, 5 is the only thing. You are correct, sir. And then what do I have left? X squared minus
5.
5. Awesome. Now, this last part, I don't think we would give you any this hard because this involves solving a quadratic at the end. In this class, this would be a little too tough, but let me show you what you do. You set it equal to 0. Focus. Okay, I'm going to have to send you out to keep doing that. So now I got to get this moved. X squared equals 5. And now it's moved. Now I just got one more step. Square root. And x equals, technically it's absolute value of x equals square root of 5, and I know this is going over some of your heads, but there's your answer. Plus and minus the square root of 5. Whew! Didn't mean for it to be that hard, but at least the good part was you guys were following me that 5 was the only thing that was in common, and so we could factor it out. That's the big thing for today, is learning how to factor these things. But I wish we just had a day on just that, but this worksheet has them factored. Oh, wait. 20x, there we go. It has you factor, which I think you can do, but then you have to solve also. All right, so last one. Write this one down. Write it down, and then do expanded form for it. Write it in expanded form. It's not that bad, because this one has an x in both of them, so it'll work better.
I can write it as
All right, here's expanded form. Now, let's do WR. What's in both of them? What's the greatest common factor? 5 is in both of them, but something else is in both of them. X. So Mr. CF, once I factor out the 5x, what do I have left?
4.
There's a 4 and there's an x, but put it in the right order. I go here first. Once I factor out the 5 and the x.
Oh, it's
Yes, it is. Raise your hand if you had that one right. All right. If you didn't get that, it's because I like to think of it this way. You're dividing by 5x here, and you're dividing by 5x here. And that cancels, and that's all I have left is this x. And this cancels, and that's all I have left is a 4. See? Okay. You need to factor, and then, this is what really surprised me, is this worksheet jumps right into, now that you got it factored, let's get the answer. 5x equals 0 as an equation. And then this other one, x minus 4 equals 0 is another equation. They're two little mini equations. These are bite-sized, easy ones. 5 times what equals 0? X must be 5 times what is 0?
0.
0, good. And what do I put in here to make this equal 0?
Absolutely nothing.
No. 0 minus 4 doesn't equal 0. So what goes in there?
It's plus 4.
4 is correct, yes. 4 and 0 are your two answers for that one. All right, I know this will be a little bit of a stretch, but we will give you some individual help. I'm going to hand out the worksheet now. We'll try a few. Okay, we're on the recording again, and we are doing the pink worksheet called Factoring and Solving Day 2. And I am going to have you just draw a line down the middle of the paper because we're only going to do the left side of the paper today. The left side of the paper. As in, that's the odds. Okay? All right. So here we go. We're doing the odds only today. Number 1. It says 32a squared plus 24b squared. Now we're going to need our people that are good at multiplying to help out with breaking this puppy down.
So what's in common, right?
Yeah, what's in common?
A.
What makes 32? 4 does go into both of them. 4 times what?
4 times A.
Yep.
And
Yes, correct.
you loyal.
And then this is AA, and this is BB. Now, all right, so this presents, listen up, please. This gives us an example, focus up here, thank you, of what is wrong with just factoring it down to any number you feel like. Because you would think that 4 is the only thing that comes out, and that's actually wrong. Let me show you. We need to break this up all the way. So this 8 can be 2 times 2 times 2 this 4 can be 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 32. I'm breaking it all the way up into its tiniest little parts. Please, look up this way. You got to learn this. All right, then this 4 can break into 2 times 2. This 6 can break into 2 times 3.
True.
There. Now I've broken it up all the way. Yes, sir?
Did you do what I just said for the 6?
No, you're thinking 2 plus 2 plus 2. 2 times 3 makes 6.
You can do 2 also.
But 2 times 2 times 2 isn't 6.
Yes, true. You would do
2 times
3.
There you go. 2 times 3.
Oh, good job. I see where you're coming from.
All right. So this one has 3 2's in common. 3 2's in common. And that's it. What is 3 2's? It's not 6.
That's 8.
It's 8. 8 is what was in common. That's the only thing that could factor out on that one.
I kind of figured it was 8, so that's the funny thing.
Then, what's left? Once these are gone, the 8's are gone, then what's left in here?
4A
4a what?
minus
No. That's not just 4a.
4 squared.
A squared, because there was 2 a's. Okay? And then over here, what's that?
Minus 3.
3b squared. And there's a plus there. So this has always been plus the whole way. Plus. Now, some of you are wanting to test out of quadratic so that you can just take geometry next year. This is one of those moments where this is challenging. This is not super easy, and I can't just do it for you. You got to ask questions and stuff if you don't understand things, and you got to try your hardest because this is not easy. Okay, do you have a question?
Yeah, just one. Since there's technically 2 8 from that, it's probably going to be something bigger than 8.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're thinking there's an 8 here and there's an 8 here, so then you should. A lot of kids think this in my high level classes too. They think, oh, there's 2 8s, so it's 8 squared. Nope, that's not how it works. Because here's how I can tell if I'm right, and I know this one's right. Here's how I can tell. Multiply it back out. 8 times 4 makes 32a squared. That's what I wanted. 8 times 3 makes 24b squared. That's what I wanted. See, I know it's right. You can know you're right by multiplying it back out. Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm just saying that.
I know. I don't expect, now just to clarify, you don't have to show all of what I showed. No, you don't. Because sometimes you can catch on quicker. Like if I would have saw right off the bat that this is 8 times 4 and this is 8 times 3, do you get how I could have pulled the 8 out? Boom, right away. So there was a way to do it a lot quicker than this. I just need you to show your work. It doesn't have to be show my work. You just show how you did it.
We do number 3 together.
I agree. Let's look at number 3.
So, got it.
All right, let's see if you got it right or not. Number 3 says 30 x to the third y, and then 35 x squared y squared. Okay, here's how I'd break it up. I'd think to myself, what goes into 35 times 6? Ooh, there's one of those that's in this. 5 times 7, very good. 5 times 6 here and 5 times 7 there. And then the cool thing is, I got my 5 that's in common right away, see?
Yeah.
Okay, now, how about the x's? I go x, x, x. I really think that is the easiest thing. And then x, x, y, y. And then I'd see all the things I have in common. So far, I got a 5 in common, but wait, there's more.
You have 2 X's.
Yes, there's 2 x's in common. You're catching on to this. This is good. And there's 1 y in common. So that's the stuff that goes out front. 5x squared y. There's too much talking in the back there. Thank you. All right, so then after the 5 and the XX and the Y all disappear, what's left? 6
X
X
plus 1.
plus, because this is a plus right there, so it's still plus. And then we could say 1 times 7, but there's a 7. We just call it a 7. And see what else is left?
Wow.
There you go. That's factored, and that's heavy-duty factoring. All right. You know what? I have changed my mind on how I want to assign this. I think we don't need to be solving equations yet, so I'm overruling this worksheet. So I'm going to have you do 1 through 8 and draw the line the other way. So all we're going to do is 1 through 8.
6.
Just 1 through 8. That's it. Okay, I'm going to do one more off of that, 1 through 8. Okay, let's do the hardest,
8.
number 8.
I feel like number
There's no back. Okay, go back. Okay, I'll go back. That's number 3. But now let me write down number 8 down underneath it, and then I can just scroll it up. Number 8. 10h to the third n to the third minus 2hn to the
squared.
squared plus
14 HM.
14hn. All right, so now you multiplying experts out there, why don't you tell me, what should I break up this, and this into? 2 times 5, good. What's this? 2 times...
2 times 1.
I actually would like to use 2 times -1. Either way would work, I know, but I think you're going to want to just take out a positive 2 from all of
2
them.
times 7.
Yes. Do you get that that means that the greatest common factor with the numbers is a 2?
Yeah, I kind of figured that out.
Okay, so 2 is going to come out, but we'll finish this in a second. H, 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 N, N, N. H, N, N, H, N. There, it's in exploded form. Expanded form.
Thank you so much.
2, 2, 2. What else is in common? Mr.
Eight.
TW. H. There's an H here, there's an H here, there's an H here. You have got that right.
And
And they all have an N. I agree. Now that you found all the things in common, would you please tell me what were the 3 things that are in common I put out front?
5.
No, there wasn't a 5 in common.
2. Oh, wow. Sorry.
2.
2.
And what else was in common? H. And what else was in common? Excellent. Then you put a parenthesis, and what you're really doing is dividing all of these by 2h and n. So I'm going to divide by 2hn, divide by 2hn, divide by 2hn. But what that really means is you can just get rid of the things that were in common. That's gone, that's gone, that's gone, and now I got to say what's left. 5 HHN. It'd be kind of dumb if you put it this way, because it doesn't look very professional. 5H what? Squared N. And then I go minus because this says minus. And what's left? The 2's are gone. The H's are gone. The N's are gone. What's left after I pull out those things? -1 N.
What about the 7?
That's at the end. There's 3 parts to this. I just finished this part. Now I'm doing the end part. And that the 2 cancels, H cancels, N cancels, and then you're right, we got a 7. It's +7. Very good. You guys are catching on. All right. That is heavy-duty factoring. So that was the hardest one. So the good news is the rest of them that you have for factoring are all easier than that. Okay? So factor, you're only doing the top part of the worksheet, problems 1 through 8, of which we've already done several, so this isn't too tough.